the line. Every time you draw a line, I'm trying to say that when you were drawing,
Trigby.
when I drew this line, I was using Photoshop. When I draw the line on my paper, I'm actually drawing the line on the dark side of the image. I'm not splitting the edge of the shape. I'm drawing it on the dark side of the shape. So in the nostrils, I'm not drawing this line on the line between the light and the dark of the nostril. I'm drawing this line on the dark side of the shape. This is, again, it's kind of a nuance, but it's otherwise if I drew the line on the border between the light and the dark, the nostril will be too big. But what'll happen is, like on the side of his face here, this side of the line, or this line, is in the hair because the hair is dark.
Mm-hmm.
But when I get down here, now the line is really on his cheek because the background is lighter. Especially when you do the eye. When I do the pupil, it's always easier to make the pupil larger. It's much more difficult to make it smaller, So eyes especially have a tendency to have an edge around them. And so they're dark up at the top under the lid, and then so it's better when I draw this shape, and when I put this shape on the drawing for you, this is on the inside part. I mean, I know that makes sense to you, but it's kind of critical, especially when you get to the sides of faces, because faces will get too wide if you draw the line on the actual light side. Draw the lines on the dark side of whatever shape it is. And I think the nostril is a good example of that. And what I did here is to show the shadow, and we'll get into that when we start painting this little. When you draw the petals of a rose, the line is on the dark side of the petal. And so that when you add paint, the petal, what's behind it is going to cover up your pencil mark. That's another reason to do that. And when you get a soft line, like you can see this side of the petal, that's why I was doing dashed lines in the little drawing of the boy. When it's a hard edge, like a nostril, you can make a solid line. But if it's intended to be a soft edge, like a cheek, or how light is on the face, that's kind of a fine thing that I'm telling you now, but it will become more and more apparent